Hello, welcome back to Jinny's, and I'm Jinny, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make meringue kisses and meringue lollies to go on the top of cakes or just to eat and because they're nice. So to begin with, we need to make sure that everything that we use is super clean and free from oil, otherwise it's just going to drop. So we get some lemon juice and splodge it all around my bowl. Use some kitchen paper, blue roll, and just wipe all of the bowl on the inside there, and that cuts through any grease, and that's really important. Then also do your balloon whisk. So you want anything that's going to come into contact with the egg. Something made a funny noise behind me. Right, there we are. So I'm happy enough with that. Get rid of that. So anything that you need to know, and my recipe is in this little V here. Click the V and the drop box will come down and you'll have everything. So to begin today, I am using 4 egg whites and 200 grams of caster sugar or white sugar. So in with the egg whites. Now meringue doesn't like to be whipped up really fast, really quickly. It likes to come up in stages, so that's what we're going to do. Also, to have a stabiliser in there is so much better as well, helps to lift it. So what I'm going to, you can use cream of tartar or you can use lemon juice. For the purposes of not everyone has cream of tartar, I'm going to use lemon juice. So it'd be a teaspoon of either. So I'm just going to pop that into there. And then take this onto a small speed to start with and just give it a few seconds and then up again. And we're going to gradually bring this up. My oven is preheated to 90 degrees on a fan assisted oven. Now I'm going to be doing 2 sheets. If you have a fan assisted, you can put 2 trays into the oven. If you only have a conventional oven, the heat comes down from the top, so it's not going to get to the underneath one, so you can only do 1 shelf at a time. Up again. So that'll be around about 100, 110 on a conventional oven, 90 on a fan. Right. So what I'm going to do now is turn this up in a second onto the next speed, which is the highest speed, which is what is going to get us those lovely meringues. And then I'm going to stop when we get to stiff peaks. Soft peaks, not stiff, soft. I'm also going to bring the camera in and have you pointed down so you can see exactly what's going on in my bowl. So I'll see you in a moment. Up it goes. Okay, so this is what I call soft peaks. So it's holding here, but it all looks a little bit cloud-like. So now is the time we are going to add the sugar, and we need to add the sugar small bits at a time. Now the reason for that is the sugar's heavy and it will collapse the meringue. So we're going to go up to a medium speed and we're just going to pop it in one at a time, around about 15 to 20 seconds between each one. And what you'll see is it'll become that really smooth, silky, gorgeous looking meringue. So I know it's a bit of a boring process, but we are getting there. We're also going to add some vanilla when this is done as well. And I'm going to show you how to colour the meringue at the same time. So we've still got quite a way. You can see the colour of this changing so much now. It's becoming like a sheen instead of like a foam almost. Right. There we go. And then I'm going to turn the speed up and just let it have a couple of minutes like that. Okay, now we're going to add the vanilla. Now this is optional, but I like to have a flavour running through this. A teaspoon of vanilla extract, just keep it going. Smell that coming up, lovely. Right, and we're done. So when you lift it, see the way it's still hanging on there. like this. That is just like clouds. Look, absolutely gorgeous. So there is our meringue. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take half of it away. So just give that a little bash, try and get it off. Okay, I've got some tubs here. So in a tub, I'm just going to take half of the white meringue away and then leave half in there. I love the feel of this. And we're going to colour it. So I am using Sugar Flare Pink. Now I've also got as colours, I've got Colour Mill. Now I do like Colour Mill. Do not use this in the meringue. This is oil based, so on the ingredients on the back you will see that it's oil based, and it also says it underneath. This is water based. If you put oil into the meringue, the whole thing's going to sink. We've just done everything we can for it to not have oil in it. The last thing we want to do is add some. So make sure that your colouring is water based. Right. Now, Sugar Flare, ooh, dropped that bit. Sugar Flare is thick, like a paste. Sometimes you get them and they're a bit runnier. This one is quite thick. So I'm going to take a little bit of this out here and then add my colour and just mix this in like this before I put it into the meringue mixture, just so that I'm happy I can give it a push down the sides, that paste is distributed before I add it here. If you don't do that, you could end up with lumps of colour in different places, and that's just not going to be good. So only take a small amount because I'm pretty much knocking all the air out of this. There we go. So now I can put that into my meringue and we're going to whip that back up. Fairly high speed and just let that whip. Done. And it's still meringue, so we're doing well. So I'm just going to give this a mix up because all around the outsides it's not mixed. So I'm just going to do this bit by hand, really carefully, so just cutting through it. Do not knock that air out. So we're just gently mixing, cutting. Right, we're all incorporated. Now it's time to get piping bags, get rid of all of this, and then I'm going to show you how to do the pretty designs. So now we're going to fill our piping bag. I've got a 2D nozzle. I'm just going to push that in the bottom and then pull the bag apart like this. And then I'll get a teaspoon, because I know it sounds silly but it's a lot easier. And we're going to take some of the white, push it to the side. Try not to throw it on the table like I just did. Only do a small amount, then take the pink and come in from the other side. And that's why we've used a smaller spoon, because otherwise we'll have issues. So I'm going to take some more of this one. And we will just fill it up a little bit, so that they're fairly even. There we go. Now we have to lift the bag up, so try not to knock the sides of it. There we go. And we're done. And there you've got your two-tone. Starts up here, mind, but that's that one. So I'm going to leave that just there and then show you how you can get just the marks down the side. So with just my red, again, make sure you're not using oil-based colours. So I've got the Sugar Flare Extra Red. Right, and then see the seams on this? So you've got a seam along here and a seam here. So I'm just going to open this out, like that. So take the, I'm going to try and do this blind almost because I can't see what I'm doing. Right, I'm going to take it through on the seam. There we go. And then just pull so that you get the colour all up the side. All on that one seam just there. There we go. So that's all the way up there. Then, if you can have it on the one part, or you can have it on the two sides. So then just push it down and rub along, and you'll get the amount coming on both of the sides there. Then pull it apart. And pop it in. Right, and then we're going to fill this one. And then pop this in. So I'm just using the white one obviously for this because of the red. And I've got no nozzle in this one. I'm just going to do this without in case you don't have any nozzles. So one with and one without. And then as that comes through, it will grab the red and you will get the marks all the way through. Okay, so I've got 2 sheets here, and then if you put little blobs of meringue, it'll stop them from flying up. And if you've got a fan assisted oven, sometimes that can happen. So as I said before, my oven is preheated at 90 degrees. Make sure that's flat, which is 110 on a conventional oven. Right, we're going to start with the two-toned. So I've got these little sticks. I'm going to pull you up, down, so you can see what I'm doing. That's better. So take your bag and just do a blob, like that. And pop your stick into it. There we go, okay? And that's going to secure it at the back and the front. And then you push down, and we're going to do like the rows that you would do on a cupcake. And then pull off, okay? So we do another one. So push that in. Make sure there's no gaps. And then pull off. Okay, and another one here. Going the other way now. And okay, and then pull up. Okay. Then I'm going to do some squiggly ones. So always do your blob. Then take your piping bag and just backwards and forwards. There we go. Get to the top and just pull away. Right, so again, backwards and forwards motion. Get to the top and just pull it away. You can dab it with your finger if you want to just push it back in and make it a little bit tidier. So there we go. Okay, so that's those. If you wanted to put some sprinkles or something on, you could do that, but you want to make sure it's not going to bleed. So that's those ones there. Right, then we're going to do some kisses. Now try and keep your hand as straight up as possible so that these don't tip to the side. There we go. Round, round, push down and lift, and all the way round, keeping that hand as straight as you possibly can up to the sky, and lift. So now we're going to come into the two-tone, not the two-tone, the red one. So I'm just going to push down and lift, and push down and lift, down, and lift. There we go. You want these to be around about the same size, otherwise you're going to have problems with baking. So push down and lift, down, lift, down, lift, down, lift, and pull away. And they're beautiful colours. So you can do this with any colour, obviously making sure again that they are all watercolours. Keeping this hand as upright as you possibly can. These are so nice on the top of cakes. Right, so that's those designs. You can use various different nozzles and create different ones, but these are just the standard ones that you would most likely be asked for. So what we need to do now is get these into the oven. These take less time than what these do here. So I'm going to pop these in first, and then I'm going to give these half an hour, and then I'm going to put these in. Okay, so altogether I'm going to give these an hour and 20 minutes for this one, and then obviously this one here is then going to get 40 minutes. So that's how we're going to work this. So these in to start with for half an hour, into the oven, and then I'll come back to you when we go to add the other ones. So those have been in for half an hour, and I am now going to pop these in for the remaining 40 minutes. So we will leave the other one in there. I'm just going to put this straight in. There we go. And my timer is set now for 40 minutes, and then I'll come back. Okay, so they've been in the oven now for the second half for the 40 minutes. So altogether we have done an hour and 20 minutes in the oven. So we're not going to open the door. All we're going to do now is just turn it off. And we're going to leave them in there. Don't open the door because we don't want any of the heat to come out. We're just going to leave them in there with that cooling of the oven for about 45 minutes. So I'll come back in about 45 minutes and we'll take them out of the oven. Don't open that door. So that's been 45 minutes, and I'm just going to get them out of the oven. So here we are. One there. And another one here. Now they are still warm, so I don't want to do anything with them. The tins, I could have picked that up. You can see, you can feel on the top, they're all nice and crunchy. So we're going to leave these alone and come back to them in about 10 minutes and take them off and show you. Here we go then. So we can pick them off. Now they should, finger on, they just come away like this on the bottom. And that shows to you that they are done. So there we go. They will all just peel off. So we've got all these different types here. Now we've got our lollipops. And the star that we put on in the first place, that just helped to secure that. So there's one. You can just pop it into there. Then I did these ones off of camera, sorry. They're just the same as this one, but without a nozzle. So that was just to show you different effects. So you can do that one in exactly the same way. There we go, and there we go. Right, so that is how we do meringue, lollipops and kisses. So I hope this was helpful for you, and I will see you soon. Take care, bye bye.